getting wrapped here. Post your thoughts on our Facebook page, Twitter. We're going to share them in the 9 o'clock hour of Good Day Atlanta.
All right, your time is 8:51 and coming up on Good Day Atlanta. Having shade in your yard is great during the hot summer months, but it can be tricky to figure out which plants will flourish without much sun. Some great options are just ahead. Stay with us.
Well, so many of us have that one spot in the yard. It's shaded, which is great from the spring and summer warmth, but maybe you're looking for a way to make it a little more inviting. If that's an issue you're having, we've got some answers for you. Melodie McDanal from Pike Nursery is joining us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, I've got a spot just like the one I described. I have absolutely nothing planted there, but before I can even choose what I want, there are really different degrees on shade versus sunshine.
Absolutely.
You need to know.
And you know, Atlanta is known as the tree city, so we do have trees in most yards, and you might have a full shade spot, partial shade, or even full sun. So those are defined a little bit different. If you have a full sun spot, it's typically 6 to 8 hours of sun a day. Partial sun is a little bit more like in the 4 or maybe the filtered light all day.
Okay.
And then shade, you pretty much get 3 hours or less.
Okay.
Not much sun comes through there at all.
All right, so once you've determined how
got
much
that
shade
shade.
you've got, what are some of your best options?
You've got options in every plant category.
Okay.
So we'll start over here. We've got our ground covers, and you're going to see a pretty little vine down there with a blue flower. That's vinca or periwinkle. Pretty blooms in the spring and nice coverage, loves the shade. Right behind that is Pachysandra, which is another great foliage plant for a ground cover that has white clusters of blooms. Now the next category we'll talk about are those great annuals. These are the ones we plant in the spring that give us color spring through fall. So your choices in the shade are impatiens with really pretty red, white, purple, pink blooms. Also New Guinea impatiens. They have a little bit broader leaf, same color blooms. Begonias, and then Caladiums, which is really a southern favorite. Those are those big, broad leaves that have the red and the green, perfect in container gardens or the backs of your
I love
annual
the
beds.
color options too, because I've just been trained that hostas are the way to go in shade, but you've got so many more options
Lots of
beyond
color
that.
options. Yep, you'll see we've even brought a pretty little container garden. You can do just as much color in a container and shade, which adds a lot. Coleus are another foliage that gives us a lot of color. And we'll move on. You did mention the hostas. Those are great perennials to put in to cover your area for a year after year.
Okay.
Next to that, we've got some heucheras, the purple and the green leaves, another perennials, and then a staple of the southern shade garden,
You know
our
it.
favorite azaleas, and then also hydrangeas. Those shrubs give you some good structure in a shade garden.
I'll admit, I did not know there were so many wonderful options for that bare spot in my backyard.
There are.
I'm going to get to work this weekend and take care of it.
Right.
All right. Thank you, Melody.
Oh, you heard it. Joanne's going to get to work this weekend planting.
It's going to be a gorgeous weekend
hold
for
her
it.
to that, yeah. All right, 8:57 is your time. That's going to wrap up the 8 o'clock hour of Good Day Atlanta on a Friday.
Yes, and now it's time for the 9 o'clock hour. Karen Graham is standing by.